Hello. Oh, computer's acting up. I'm sorry. I came across this article in Our Time Press. It's a free newspaper about Michael K. Williams. Let's see if I can make sure I got that right. Very good article, and I think I want to read this. There's some lessons here, some importance here. Michael Kenneth Williams, Beautiful Black Man by Marlon Rice. You can see the author name there. The following sentence rests at the root of and the spirit of America. The bodies of black men are to be worked and to be used for the service of America. Right off the bat, it had me. The trauma associated with this truth rests in the muscles and ligaments of young black boys way before they are ever able to understand what that feeling is. It is coded, embedded from centuries of usury, tied to so closely with our personalities that we can never distinguish where one ends and the other begins. Ask a young black boy what he wants to be when he grows up. Listen to him exclaim that he wants to be some sort of athlete or star, and then hear the implications of his answer. Even as a child, he is willing to give his body as an exchange for acceptance, success, and validation. Because great black thinkers and those who use their minds to succeed at business and at nation building, their value to this system seems significantly lessened when you compare them to our greatest basketball players and singers, and truly even compared to George Floyd and Eric Garner, for those black men also were compelled to give their bodies to this system. That's why I don't get no support on my channels or my platforms. Again, black thinkers and those who use their minds to succeed at business and nation building, their value to this system is significantly lessened. And I would even say devalued in the black community. For the last 30 years, the black community has turned its back on its thinkers and elevates its rappers and singers and athletes to take the spot where thinkers should be. That's why you get these crazy half-baked ideas with no thoughts. Michael K. Williams was a black kid from Vanderveer houses in Flatbush, Vanderveer, in the 70s and 80s. Was the 90, well, I'm sorry, was the bottom, one of the many bottoms that kids like him and I smile about when we think back. I grew up in Brownsville, so I know in the 80s. Every social determinant of health is suffering in those bottoms: environment, education, nutrition, mental health, and scientists and those who receive high grants to research the human condition will tell you that when there is a place that has failing numbers with regards to the very basic social determinants of health, the people in that environment are not expected to thrive. And that's why we don't think anymore. This is what we went through. Michael K. Williams could have become a shiftless, worthless, stagnant human being, and the world wouldn't have noticed, because kids that are raised in the bottom aren't expected to thrive. And I would say now aren't expected to even live. But Michael, he answered that itch that black boys feel but can't recognize. The echo trauma that tells your flesh and bones that you can succeed and be validated in American society if you just use your body. Answering the call, Michael danced first. He connected with the ancestors in movement and rhythm, and he was beautiful to watch. Even as a background dancer, he was special. His twisting and maneuvering spoke of the voyage of the past and the beautiful struggle that it takes for a black boy living in this country to become a man. Later, as an actor, Michael gave us the terrifying range of human emotions in such a poignant way. He drew from deep in his spirit, from the parts he could remember and from the parts that he inherited unknowingly. His willingness to give of his body made the character Omar Little one of the most enigmatic television characters of our era. It's a great character. He was a great actor. I'll tell you something. There is nothing more beautiful in this world than a black man who gives of himself with such honesty and vulnerability. And there is nothing more dangerous than a society that can take that beauty and suck it dry, hungry as a succubus for more and more until there is nothing left. Michael gave us everything he had. They all did. Mums, Biz, DMX, Shock G, they gave up their bodies until there was nothing left to give. The tragedy here is that we didn't reciprocate. That's what I'm always saying. We didn't appreciate the amazing ideal that a black boy that comes from where it is designed for you to fail figured out how to give of his body to create ripples and impact, not just in his hood or in his city, but in the world. We didn't take a moment to honor the absolute tenacity of this black man, because in this society we expect black men to give their bodies without the expectation of reciprocity. I'm always, people so shocked that he died, and I'm like, yeah, because that's what America does. It grinds black men into dust. People are still shocked, which means they're not connected to the reality of our situation. Michael and I live in the same neighborhood, literally 5 or so blocks apart. I wish I could have bumped into him this weekend. I would have given him a big hug and told him that I loved him. Sometimes that's all a black man needs to keep going. And there's more on another page, but I'm going to leave it there, because the most important stuff is what I wanted you to get. Um, we are being, black people, your best thinkers are being ignored to death. And ignoring us is making everybody else, I don't want to say ignorant, willfully ignorant, also stupid. And you can keep following the blockheads if you want. You can keep following the entertainers and the personalities if you want. You can keep following the black billionaires if you want. But I'm going to tell you, ain't but a handful of them, and most of them are entertainers too. And they're there to misdirect you, and they're there to confuse you. I like how Irony says, Oprah Winfrey has destroyed more black families than the white system ever could by confusing black people, especially black women, into believing something that just is not real. Right? If you want a life in this world, you have to fight the structures and the superstructures, or build your own structures and superstructures in order to have it. Period. This idea that you could just go up to things and get jobs, and go up to organizations and get in, and go up to organizations, just walk up and say I'm here and get it, or even say my ancestors built this place and get it, or even say justice says I should get it. The idea that you're just going to do that and succeed is insane. So I love this article. You never know where you're going to find something. Um, I'm going to miss Michael K. Williams. I really am. And but part of me says, good, he's not in this miserable place anymore. And can't wait for my time to come when I'm just out of here. Um, until next time, try to stay safe, try to stay sane.